So tell me what we learned last lecture. In the last week, yesterday we don't had a lecture. So what we learned last time? Today we are going to see the concept of relays as well as contactor, how those are used in the system. So before that, I need to explain you SPDT switch where we have left yesterday means last time. Before we begin, what we learned last time, I will just brief in a short. So the last lecture was dedicated with line diagrams. We have seen how to draw line diagrams for simple problems. Now we will continue with that. In that we saw some symbols. Now we are seeing one problem of SPDT switch. SPDT switch is nothing but single pole double throw. It is nothing but single pole double throw. It is not necessary that you should remember all the terminologies which I am using here just now. It is for only understanding purpose. We will not require much these things in the actual PLC programming. So what is said in SPDT, how that SPDT switch is shown, that I will explain with the symbol. So what problem is saying that there are two SPDT switches, S1 and S2. So what will happen, S1 and S2, if they both are on, then result will be lamp off. Result is lamp off. And if these both are off, then lamp will on. It is an example of, if I draw its truth table, suppose this is S1, this is S2, then when S1 and S2 both are on, output is off. If both are off, sorry, here is also off. If both are off, then also output will be off. If suppose S1 is on and S2 is off, then output is on, or S1 is off and S2 is on, then output is on. This is one type of logic gate. Which logic gate is this, that I will ask you later. So how to draw the line diagram for this type of a SPDT switch? Let's see that in detail. So how it is looking like, everything we will see. As we know, we are drawing vertical line first to represent 230 volt AC supply. Then there will be output, means that is N. Last element will be bulb, and here we have to arrange the SPDT switches. So last time when we have ended the lecture, about to end the lecture, at that time we have shown, I have shown you a representation of SPDT switch. It is having like this. Okay, there are two throws. Here it is called as a pole, and it has two throws. When this switch is connected to this condition, it is in the position of, we call it as a NC, normally close. Means it is in normally closed condition. This is normally open condition. This switch can shift its pole. If it is coming down, what will happen? I will show in different color. So it will come like this. At that time, this NO will become NC and this NC will become NO. Current will flow from this side. Means this terminal will have current. Initially, the current was here. That current will come here. So it is like a selector switch. So it is moving one side to another side. So first what I will do in our problem, I will attach one SPDT switch in this fashion. Okay, this is first position. This is called as a common. That pole is known as a common. So this is NC. And this terminal is now NO. Then what I can do next to get the required condition fulfilled? I have to attach another one, another switch I have to attach. Here, when we want to attach another switch, what I have to do? I have to check the condition. So condition is what? If suppose this is S1. So S1 is now in what condition? If it is initial condition, if this is the initial condition, then this should not, we call it as a, this is off condition. Initial condition is off. This is off. Then next condition we want to see is one. So it is in off condition. So what should happen when S1 is off? It is S1 is off and S2 is also off. The bulb should be in the off position. So what I will do, I will arrange, just see how I am arranging the circuit. So here second switch is there. It is the common of second switch. And what I will do, I will attach its one terminal to this NO. Now this is in also, this is S2. This is S2 and this is in, this is its NC and this is NO. Means I have attached two terminals. I will show it in a different color so that it will be understood. So like this. So what I have done, I have attached the NC of second switch. This is second switch. NC of second switch to the NO of first switch and NO of second switch to the NC of first switch. So what will happen now? Now it is both are in off condition. So what will happen? Current will come from this side. Current will flow. It will flow. It will stuck. It will not move forward. Okay. Similarly, if I change, now what I will do? I will change. What I will change? I will make both the on. Both the on means I have to take the action on both the levers. Levers are not there like that. It is for showing purpose. So what will happen if I move that lever of first terminal? So it will move here. And what will happen? It will move here. And I will remove this for sake of convenience. This is removed. This is removed. Now again what will happen? Both are in on position now. This is on. This is also on. So what will happen now? Any answer? Will bulb become on?
No.
Again what will happen? Current will come and it will get to this position. Now we will see the another condition. So what I will do? I will keep the second off and first on. So let's see what will happen. So I will remove this and I will keep as it is. I will not take. This is in off position. This is in off position as it is. Now what happened? S1 is in on position and S2 is in off position. We have not touched the S2. So here you can observe current will come, it will move. Means this condition. S1 is on, S2 is off, and output we have get as a correct one. Similarly, we can apply by considering the previous consideration, like we will remove, I will keep the S1 off, means I will not do the any action as it was previously. S1 is in off position now, third, and I will make S2 on, means I will just on the S2. So this will be the condition, and at that time current will flow from this side, and we will get this truth table successfully correct. So this is the consideration where we will see the use of SPDT switch. SPDT switch is used for like these considerations, and in practical previously this type of switches were used. Now I will give you one example for homework of same this SPDT. So what it is saying, that condition is that first condition S1 and S2 are on, both are on, then lamp on, lamp is on. Second condition, S1 and S2 both are off, then also lamp is on. Third condition, S1 on, S2 off, lamp is off. Fourth condition, S1 off, S2 on, lamp is off. So I want line diagram for this as a homework. I will ask this problem answer in the next lecture. If you want, you can take the screenshot or you can refer the notes which I have given, I will be giving in the upcoming days. So the truth table I will show. So simple truth table will be there, S1, S2, this is bulb output. So if this is 1 1, it will be 1. If it is 0 0, it will be 1. If it is 1 0, it will be 0. If it is 0 1, it will be 0. Like that truth table will be there, and I want result from the same. So let's move forward by hoping that you have understood the concept. If we consider second type, that is push button. Last time also we just started with the push button. The push button is shown like this, and I told you that NO and NC are shown by different ways. This was NO, and this is NC. So when I press this lever will come down and current will flow through the terminals, and NC is nothing but it is previously already in the contact with the switch, and it will get released when the push we have applied on that switch. So the simple problem is like this: when push button is pressed, when we push the push button, we will get the output on, and when we release the push button, output will get off. So simple problem that I will not write. It is 230 volt input, then there is push button which is in the NO position, and here is the bulb. So here we are using green color button. When I give the push button, press, always remember this push button is spring loaded. When we give the push, it will touch the contacts and when we remove the pressure on that push button, it will release the contact and the bulb will off. Means to know that output is on, we have to keep pressing the push button. Once you release the pressure, bulb will get off. And if we consider similar problem with different way, means 230 volt supply is there. From the line diagram, tell me what is happening. So there is one push button. This is the condition. This is the bulb. This is the output. So this is which type of contact now? This push button is showing which type of contact? This is the NC. Already it is shown. So what is the condition? This is red color push button. Bulb is in on position initially. When I press this push button, contact will lose due to pressure stored in the spring. When we release the push button, when we release back, the lever will come back to the original position and bulb will keep glowing. That is the condition. Then there is another concept that you have to remember, which is called as a relay. To understand this relay, we have to consider one example that I will show you. Just a moment. So relays are the previously used when there was no actual automation with soft wiring. At that time, relays are used. Relays are having magnetic coil. Okay, relays are having magnetic coil. That magnetic coil is activated by using some we call it as a 24 volt DC supply. For that, I will share you one small video which will explain you how the relay is working. Just 2 minutes. What relay is actually? That relay is nothing but, just I will add relay. Relay is a switch. As we know, switch has two positions. Two positions, one is NO, another is NC. So relay switch is operated by magnetic field. Means relay has two terminals. In simple fashion, if I want to show that, it is by symbolic way, it is shown like this. So there is a coil and there is, means it is not actual correct diagram. There is NC terminal, there is one common terminal and there is NO terminal. So simple way how it is working, just see what is the condition. So C is the common. C is nothing but common as we have seen here. So C is this common, to which we are providing 230 volt AC supply. So what will happen if this diagram is in front of you, which is simplest diagram. If this diagram is in front of you, what will happen? What is your idea? What is happening here? Any idea? Current is flowing from where to where and all these things, just like that relation I am asking the question with respect to that connection. So tell me what is happening now here. If I give the 230 volt supply, that 230 volt supply will come here and it will go to NC. Means if I attach bulb over here, that bulb will glow. Okay. And if I have another bulb which is attached to this NO, it is in off position. This is in on position. It is N. Okay. Then here you will see there is one coil. That coil is connected to this 24 volt DC supply. So when this supply is given to this coil, it will get magnetized. This coil will get magnetized, and due to that magnetized coil, it is actually below here somewhere. Due to, it is symbolically shown here. So what will happen? This is spring loaded. Common is spring loaded. That common will come down. When that common will come down, what will happen? This contact will break. This new contact will happen. And this NC will become NO, and this NO will become NC. Means whatever bulb which was previously glowing, that will off, and whatever bulb which was not glowing previously, it will get on. So that we will have that small video so that you will understand the concept. It is from is it visible? I am just sharing, just a minute, it will come to you. Is the page visible? Hope so, yes. Yes, so let's see.
Hi friends, today we continue studying components, and the topic of this conversation is electromagnetic relay. The relay is a simple component with contacts. Contacts can stay in a closed or open position depending on many factors such as temperature, current in the circuit, voltage, and so on. Today we will talk about the electromagnetic relay. Electromagnetic relay is an electromechanical device for switching external circuit. It consists of solenoid and contact plates. The first prototypes of electromagnetic relays have been created a long time ago, before the advent of the electronic devices. To understand the principle of operation of the relay, we go back to the textbooks on physics and collect simple device. We wound certain amount of copper wire on any iron object. If we apply voltage to this coil, the iron core or the anchor will attract the ferromagnetic materials, in other words, substances which can interact with magnets. In fact, we have complied a simple electromagnet. It would be unfair not to mention the legendary names of Andrew Mary Ampere and Michael Faraday. Their empirically proven relationship between electricity and magnetism. This discovery became the basis of our world. The relay is a sum of electrons and movable and fixed plates with the contacts. At the time of actuation of the electromagnet, these groups are put in contact. Depending on the type of relay, it can have from 1 to 10 or more plates with contacts for switching multiple loads. The main function of the relay in a circuit is to turn on and off loads or consumers by applying a weak signal at the solenoid coil. In fact, it is a trivial switch which is controlled by a weak current. Moreover, the electromagnetic relay as a conventional switch can work in AC and DC circuits. We have a button that can tolerate currents about 2 amperes, but we need to connect to a power source, for example to battery, powerful lamp, which consumes much more than 2 amperes. We cannot use this button because contacts will burn up, but if the bulb connected to the relay contacts, which can withstand much higher current, control of the lamp isn't difficult. In this case, the button provides a small current to the coil of the solenoid, causing the relay contacts become closed. The relay can be of 2 types. First are usually the same solenoid, and the second is solid-state relay. In the latter, there is no solenoid. A relay has a fully electronic stuffing, and we haven't mechanical switching contacts. It includes power semiconductor devices such as thyristors and transistors. Perhaps some people will be surprised, but the simple relay caused the rapid development of technology. Without the relay, we would not have today's computers and other digital devices. The relay can be in two states. The contact is open or closed. This is nothing more than a binary code, either 0 or 1, on the basis of which all digital devices operate. The first prototypes of computers were built using switches and punched cards. Punch cards are a way to program management mechanisms, which was proposed by French inventor Joseph-Marie Jacquard about 200 years ago to manage looms. The first computers were bulky, noisy, but it was thanks to them that there was born PCs. A prime example in the world's first programmable computer built in 1941, designed by Conor Zuse and included more than 2,500 relay. Such a computer could perform complex mathematical calculations by using binary code. Although the name of the inventor has been forgotten and the world hasn't appreciated his invention, nonetheless, Computer Zeus is the ancestor of modern computers. Same way worked computer designed by genius mathematician Alan Turing. His computer was able to decipher the German code, the legendary Enigma cipher machine of the Nazis, which was considered impossible to crack. This contributed to the victory in the Second World War, but the Germans weren't even aware that their extremely complicated cipher machine was hacked. I slightly go away from the subject, but additional information is never superfluous. In diagram, the relay looks as follows. The square is a solenoid and a number of contacts. The main parameters are the relay coil supply voltage, maximum voltage, and current across the contacts. These parameters are marked by the manufacturer on the body. Here we can clearly see that the solenoid is designed for a DC voltage of 12 volts, and the maximum current in the case of switching the network load can be up to 10 amperes. Conventional relay has several disadvantages compared with solid state. Power contacts eventually will burn up. The second drawback is the noise at the time of the solenoid working. Relays are widely used in all industries, in transport, household equipment, power generation, and so on. We meet them every day, but do not notice it. In the usual UPS or voltage regulator can be seen several relays that instantly react to main voltage fluctuations. Depending on the application, the relay may have a different size, shape, and allowable current. There are switches on hundreds of amperes which are implemented in the power automation systems. As another example, let's examine the simple thermal relay. In this scheme, we see a thermistor that changes its resistance depending on the ambient temperature. With increasing or decreasing temperature, transistor will acting and supplies power to the solenoid coil, so a relay can activate a cooling system or, on the contrary, heating. Using a photoresistor instead of a thermistor, we will get an automatic switch that can turn the lights on in darkness. Some people complain that my videos have become ends abruptly, but the video time is limited to complete this video. I hope it was useful to estimate it with like and share it with your friends. Well, I bid you farewell. With you was Kaizen TV.
So hope you have seen the relay concept. I will continue with that. So what you understood, as per my knowledge, there is one coil which is having low voltage, most probably the DC voltage. That DC voltage is given to the coil, so that coil get magnetized. Due to that magnetic field, one plate which is common, it get attracted towards the another plate, so that NO will become NC, NC will become NO. So what is happening now? Just observe. This is relay. Now its big brother, which is called as a contactor. Contactor will also have coil and NO and NC positions. So, but what is the difference between contactor and relay? Contactor coil is magnetized by 230 volt AC supply. That is the only difference. Contactor will also have coil. We provide 230 volt AC supply so that coil get magnetized. When that coil get magnetized, it will attract the plate which is connected to the common as previously seen in the relay, and it will produce the effect of converting NO to NC and NC to NO. That condition will fulfill. The symbols which are used for the contactor and relay, in general we will see the symbol. This is the symbol for coil. Okay, and the relay, this is NO and contactor also, and this is another example where we are having NC condition. These are the conditions. Means these are the symbols which are used for showing the conditions. Now, how to implement this? Let's see actual case, how to implement this in the practical. Means in the line diagram, how to implement this. To know this, we will take one example of proximity switch. Or it is a sensor. So what is mean by proximity switch? Any idea? Proximity switch. What is the use of proximity switch? What it does?
Sir, I have the idea of proximity sensor used in mobile.
It does.
The proximity sensor in mobile, it is used to adjust the screen brightness. If we keep the screen on auto brightness, then it will automatically adjust the brightness of the screen depending on the light available.
Correct. Now it is having, means depending upon the light, it changes the brightness. That is correct. So the proximity switch which are used in the industries are, for example, to detect the metal. If suppose I want to detect a metal, there is conveyor belt. On conveyor belt there are number of components moving, and if suppose some metallic component comes in front of sensor, it should give some signal like buzzer will on, or bulb will on, or conveyor belt should stop. Like this thing should happen. To do this, we have to use the proximity sensor which senses the metal. In general, there are how the proximity sensor is shown symbolically. I will show. So here is the symbol. In this symbol, there are there is one color code by which the proximity sensors are shown. This is black. This is black wire. This wire is brown. This wire is white, and this wire is blue. In general, there are 4 wires if we consider a standard proximity switch, and nowadays we are finding only 3 wires. In some cases, there are 3 wires where one wire is get clubbed. That also I will show later. In between, there is one switch present inside the sensor. So what it does, so that brown wire and blue wire, here we are providing 24-volt DC supply. This supply is given to activate this switch, means to give the energy to this switch or to this sensor, we are providing 24-volt positive and here negative supply. Then when we connect this positive and negative to blue and brown, what will happen later? When in front of this metal comes, what will happen? This lever will get automatically attracted. Now it is in NC, sorry, NO. When metal will come in front of that, the switch which is in the NO position, it will move and it will become NC. Here we are attaching 230 volt AC. Here suppose I am attaching bulb. Here I have attached bulb. Here N. So what will happen? We are having here two connections. One connection is for 24-volt DC supply. One connection is for 230 volt to light the bulb. Okay. So we are attaching like this. So this is the proximity switch. Now problem is like that, when suppose a bulb, if suppose we are having the proximity switch with us, then it will sense the metal and lamp get on, which was previously off. And what I want to know, if instead of attaching the bulb directly, what we are doing here, we can't do the 230 volt directly because we are having the limitations on the circuit. So what we are doing, problem is, just understand the problem. When metal is there, bulb should on. I was wrong previously, it was my mistake. I have given some wrong information that we can give the 230 volt to the sensor. If we give the 230 volt to the sensor, it will burn, simply it will burn. So we can't give the 230 volt to the sensor. Here also we are giving 24 volt depending upon the sensor. If it is of 24 volt DC, then also we have to give the 24 volt DC supply. If it is 12 volt, then we have to give the 12 volt DC supply. So how to do this? Because we can't attach bulb now. We can't attach bulb to the sensor because it is playing with the 24 volt DC supply only. Remember this concept you have to understood clearly. Later I will show all the things by practical also. We are having all the things with us in the lab. I will show all these things with practical so that the concept of this will be clear easily. So how to show by practical way? So this is first circuit, 24 volt DC supply. I will take one wire. What I will do, I will attach to the sensor. Okay, it is black wire. Same way it is positive and it is brown wire. Then you know that here is the blue wire which I am connecting to the negative. This is negative. This is positive. To the means this is giving the power. Then here is the switch inside. Inside there is a switch. So when metal will come, this switch will get on. So what I am doing now, just see carefully. I am attaching here the coil of relay. It is A1, A2 and it is relay 1. It is shown like this. So the relay which we have seen here, these two terminals I am attaching here. So when metal will come in front of this relay, what will happen? The coil get activated. Means coil get activated means it will become magnetized. Okay, this is first circuit. Now there is one parallel circuit which is having 230 volt AC supply, and to that I am attaching bulb, and this whatever I have drawn here, this is nothing but switch off relay 1, and which is in NO position. So what will happen? Just imagine and tell.
Sir, we cannot hear you.
Sorry, sorry. It was muted. When disconnected, it was. So I will repeat once again what I said. Previously, what is happening in this problem, when there is no metal in front of sensor, at that time the coil is deactivated. This coil is deactivated. When that coil is deactivated, it switch. You can see these are the switches. These two switches are having their original position. When metal will be there, at that time what will happen? The NO will become NC. This NO by symbolically shown, that will become NC, and bulb will become on. When metal is not there, again coil get deactivated, and again original position will be achieved. Then that was the previous one that I will show with example also. Next we are seeing the inching circuit. What problem is saying about inching circuit? It is related with the contactor. What it say? There is one push button. PB1 is push button. When PB1 is pressed, 230 volt lamp goes on through a 230 volt AC contactor. 230 volt AC contactor. Through AC contactor. Then when I release PB1 is released, 230 volt lamp goes off. Now by using contactor, we have to do the things. So how to do? Just see. First example I will show you. Now here there is only 230 volt supply. So we will have only 230 volt line. Then as per our problem, there is one push button. When I push this push button, what should happen? Bulb should on, but bulb should not on directly. It should on through the contactor. So how to show that? Here is the contactor now. Sorry. Contactor coil in general, when we draw the line diagram, is shown like this. There is the representation way. This is the contactor coil. It is called as a coil. Coil has two terminals. It is shown as K1. Contactor name is K1, and its one terminal is A1, another terminal is A2. Then what is happening in this circuit? Just understand. When I push this push button down, what will happen? The circuit will flow, current will flow from this direction to that direction, and the coil will get activated. Just only what will happen as a result of this? Coil activated. That's all. You will hear sound. You will hear one sound like phat, and coil will get activated. You have seen this many times when you start the pump. In the pump, contactors are used. When we push that green color button, this is green color button. When we push, you hear some voice, sound, phat. At that time, that coil get activated. Means that coil of a contactor has NO and NCs. That NO and NCs will get interconverted. So I will show here as a K1 of a contactor, and it is K1 of NO. It is the position, and I will put the bulb here. It is connected to 230 volt. This is a switch of this contactor. So I will make one in the next lecture. I will directly show by practical way how that contactor look like. In our lab we are having that contactor too. So when this coil is activated, this NO will become NC, this NO will become NC, and bulb will on. When I release, what will happen? Just give me answer. That will be our last point for today. When I release the push button, what will happen? Any idea? If I release the push button, what will happen? Come on, fast. We have to end up. If I release the push button, what will happen? No answer. So what I assume, you don't understand, nothing understand. What is the condition? When I release the push button, what will happen?
Coil will not be activated.
Coil will be deactivated. The magnetic field in the coil will be removed. When magnetic field will be removed, this in this coil, whatever magnetic field was previously, that magnetic field will be okay. From this coil, magnetic field will be removed, and this NO means which was converted to NC will come to original position of NO, and bulb will off. Means until and unless you are keeping the push button pressed, bulb will be in on position. When we release the load on the push button, bulb will become off. So that is circuit. That circuit is known as a inching circuit. Okay. In the next lecture, we will see the latching circuit, which is also a important point. So with this, I will conclude today's lecture. So we will meet in the next lecture, and we will have more discussion about this type of problems, and we will start actual programming in the next lecture. So we will solve problems on the software in the next lecture. So with this, I will say you goodbye for today, and we will meet in the next lecture. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice day.
One more thing.